Okay, guys, welcome in here. We're having a special Wednesday night stream tonight because we are holding a special Fantasy Football Advice Network playoff challenge where we're giving away over $2,500 in prizes and a nice championship ring. It is beautiful. You can go to Smash Up Sports to play this, and we'll be doing it for all weeks of the playoffs plus the Super Bowl. And yeah, you can win big prizes. So the best thing about it is it's absolutely free to join up and play. And if you've never played on Smash Up Sports, it's DFS like you've never done before. So again, it's free and it's really freaking awesome. So we're going to kind of walk through that tonight and show you how to set up a lineup. We're going to set a lineup. If you're in the chat and you want to help us set this lineup, let's do it. Like I'm all about getting some help here. But we'll show you how to do it tonight. We'll show you all the cool ins and outs of the Smash Up DFS challenge here. And again, it's completely free to play. So the link is in the video description down below. You just click there, make sure you're signed up, and then join that league, that challenge. So, all right. Kyle, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing good, man. I'm interested to see. I haven't been in here yet, so I'm interested to see what we got going on.
Yeah. So again, it's a DFS challenge. If you never played DFS, that's fine. We'll show you how that's done. So let me pop this up here really quick so that we can take a gander. Let me see if I can get our low that. Oh yeah, let's get that graphic kind of changed down here. We'll put it right up in that corner. Sexy. All right. So let's see. We want to, first of all, we'll come in here and the wild card weekend, that's week 1, right? So we've got the wild card weekend, divisional playoffs, conference championships, so 3 weeks worth of challenges. And then the top 5 from each week get a payout. And the top 5 from each week all automatically get into the Super Bowl challenge, which isn't showing down here. That'll be the 4th week of this challenge, and where the winner of the Super Bowl will get like $1,000 and a ring. So that's awesome. And
Nice.
So you'll have your top 5 from every week. So, and then 10 overall top scorers or something like that. I can't remember exactly how you get to the Super Bowl, but we'll cover that later. So,
you know how hard, dude, the Super Bowl's going to be hard to win because there's such a limited pool. Like, you have to literally nail all the top people in that game.
Well,
like, that's going to be tough.
Well, here's the tricky thing about this platform too, right? Is this platform gives some differentiators that you can get. So let me get into that really quick. So let's click into here into the league, and let's see. I haven't set up my team yet. So we've got a budget. Oh, there's different budgets. Sorry, I misunderstood this when I was looking at it before. There's a player budget, and then what they call a card budget. So here's your differentiator on Smash Up Sports is that there are these cards, right? So you have your players, they all have their how much they cost and stuff, but then you have a card budget. So you get to come in here and select different cards for your players. So these are what they call like power-ups, right? So you can also filter them by position. So let's say we want to do power-ups and get cards for a quarterback, right? You have like a Moneyball Capologist. So every unused $100 of remaining player salary adds 0.2 points to your score for a maximum of 10 points, right? Golden Arm, every passing touchdown by your QB is worth 8 points instead of 4. So you're doubling up if you think you've got a good passing quarterback. Roll of the dice, if the selected player plays less than 30 offensive snaps, they get 3 times multiple to their score. So if they're like just a goal line back and that's it, they're going to get touchdown carries but not play a lot of snaps. That's where you want someone like that. I don't know if David Montgomery on his first week back might be good for something like that. I don't know. Just kind of thinking out loud here. But I saw one at one point. I'm going to have to try to find it again. But it was like you get points for incomplete passes. So if you have a bad quarterback, that might actually be better. Now you're in the playoffs now, so that might not work here. But during the regular season, if you're playing this DFS and regular season, then that might be helpful. So these power-ups are really interesting. Let's see, projectile dysfunction. That's a good name for one here.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, the projectile dysfunction. That's the 1 point for.
Yeah, each complete pass by the QB is worth 1 point. So, quite impressive. If you've got
goldfish memory, every turnover by your QB is worth 8 points instead of -2. Too bad Jameis Winston ain't in the playoffs.
Right. Well, maybe we could put Sam Darnold in there or something. Let's see who we got in the chat. Real quick, we've got Tyler in here. Let's go, man. He's helping us run this. Yeah, Brent in there. He called it out, projectile dysfunction. So that's awesome. AJ in here. What's up, man? Glad to have you in here. Guys, if you have not joined up yet, we're going over the playoff challenge that we're hosting. We're giving away over $2,500 in prizes, plus a championship ring. So get in on the tournament. The link is in the description of this video. So go freaking join. It is 100% free, and you can win money. Get out of here. And a ring. Not you, AJ. You're a Philly fan. Y'all don't know much about rings. Sorry.
They don't know much about reading instructions in a link either. So,
yeah. Hey, AJ, if you get down in the description of this video on YouTube here, there's a link down there. You can follow, get signed up. You may have to click the link, get signed up, get registered on Smash Up. Then you may have to click the link again to take you to that specific playoff challenge that's set up in here. So, once you get signed up, let me just kind of go back there. You'll land on this page here, and it will bring up all the weeks. You'll be able to join the first week here. Currently, we have 107 people currently in this challenge. So, yeah, okay. Dallas Cowboys won last playoff game long ago, but
nah, it was like a couple years ago. We won a first rounder, didn't we?
Yeah, but still.
But I mean, just because yours is more recent doesn't make you better.
So I was going through, just FYI, Scotty was talking crap earlier on the Cowboys, and I looked it up, and Washington has had 7 winning seasons, winning records in a season since Dallas last won a Super Bowl. But no one gives them crap. They've only had, that's a winning record, much less winning a championship. They've only had 7 winning records. That's horrible. But everyone wants to talk crap on, okay, whatever. Anyways.
So it's kind of the same way the Eagles. It took them how long to finally win one? And now they think they're better?
Yeah, okay. They won 1. It's ridiculous.
It took them a lot longer to win their first than it's been since we won our last. So.
Right. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to set a lineup that's going to win me some money. Week 1, I think if you win, you get like $200 if you come in first place. So AJ's right there. Giants won 2 recently, and they're ass. Yeah, they had a – that's crazy.
So I get $200. What's second place get?
Yeah, $100 I think for second place. So I'll be more than happy with that. So – this is tricky because, again, you can save some money and get power-ups, right? So we'll use those cards to kind of make up for some of these. So
I didn't realize at first that it was 2 separate budgets. That's kind of neat.
I didn't.
If you have leftover player budget, can you move it to your card budget or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But remember, there's that card that gives you points for saving money on players, right? So there's a lot of different ways you can play this. So I tend to kind of scroll down here and see what's available down here for cheap, right? That's kind of what I'm interested in. Where's my good cheap players down here? And what I'm actually going to do is go to tight end first. What is your first move typically?
When I'm doing a DFS lineup?
Yeah.
Well, when I've played in the past, I've done DraftKings, and I usually look for tight ends definitely towards the top because I definitely want one of the top tight ends. but I also want that. Well, the one I played in last year was a super flex, so I made sure I had two great quarterbacks as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends. What is the lineup here? Let's see.
It's
Quarterbacks, receivers, tight ends. So standard. Okay.
yeah.
Tight end would definitely be towards the top.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I tend to go first, is pick my tight end first. I want to go to tight end cards really quick.
I will say though, just glancing at this roster and the tight ends available in the playoffs, there's none that jump out at me that are must-haves.
Yeah. But like, here's one. Your tight end gets a 2 times multiplier to their score.
Not in the first round, at least. Round 2 is when you'll see Kelsey and Laporta pop in there, but this first round, there's nothing in there that I necessarily have to have. So that might be a spot we can save money.
Yeah.
We're looking.
Yep. Okay, so what I'm going with here, man, I don't hate, like, a Tucker Kraft is a pretty good, but really you're getting down here. The difference between like a Tucker Kraft and like a Cade Otton is only $400, so that's kind of interesting. I'm going to start out with a top tight end. I'm going to start off with a Mark Andrews. I can always come back and adjust that because I like some of these cheaper ones. I know where I can come back and save dollars later. Where do you usually go next?
Probably go running backs next.
Yeah, that's where I go too.
That's going to be your money spot.
Well, see, for me,
because you got to think when you're looking at this, and I'm assuming this is PPR scoring. Is it full PPR?
I would assume so. Yeah, I guess I don't
DraftKings is, so I assume this probably is.
Yeah, I would assume so.
You want a high quality. I like running backs more in DFS than I do in season-long leagues because of the injuries and all that junk. But when you come to DFS, like, this is where you want to spend your money on your running backs for sure.
Yep. I'm liking guys. I'm just kind of looking through here really quick, kind of at my cheaper options. And I like Brian Robinson is kind of on the cheaper end.
And see, I don't mind spending up a little bit at running back.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of getting the field here.
Not super cheap, but still a little bit. Still like a Bucky Irving instead of a Derrick Henry maybe is not a
right. Yeah, I'm not trusting Joe Mixon right now, which is unfortunate. But the reason I'm looking like
Tyron Williams matchup against Minnesota is tough.
Yeah. What I was looking at a cheaper option, kind of like Brian Robinson, kind of skipping all these middles and almost going like a Saquon and Brian Robinson and kind of balancing that out, like a higher end and then a little bit cheaper option.
Yeah, I think you got to do Barkley. That's your anchor, right? So he's going to carry your team on his back and probably hurdle somebody in the process.
Backwards, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of liking those running backs there. I'm going to go ahead and move on to wide receiver. I tend to do quarterbacks kind of last besides kickers and defense.
I always like to try to get a stack with my quarterback.
Yeah. I don't know that that's going to happen because, well, it might. I'm thinking Mike Evans could be a big winner here. And then if I'm not mistaken, well, Baker's going to be on the higher end still there too.
Looking at the money to spend and the positions, like we just looked at running backs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Mike Evans against Washington. He's coming in about $600 less than like a Barkley.
Yep.
Puka against Minnesota. And I saw one a minute ago when we were on the cards scrolling through where you get like boosters for targets and things like that. Like Puka
Yeah.
rack up some serious targets against the Minnesota.
Yep.
Like, and he's coming in like again pretty cheap compared to some of those top running backs. Maybe this week with the matchups and the dollars here, maybe receiver is where you should spend your big money and go a little more budget at running back.
Maybe. So here's what I'm thinking though. They have this run CMC, right? If the selected player has at least 80 rushing yards and at least 40 receiving yards, this card is worth 30 points. And I have Barkley, right? So I'm almost thinking I should use both of those.
You could do the same thing with Bucky Irving.
That's true. That's true.
For significantly less.
Running back
for $1,500 less, you could do the same with Bucky.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Or I mean, even James Cook has been racking it up kind of lately. So that's an option too. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw in here. I'm gonna throw in a Baker Mayfield to stack with Mike Evans. I've got 16,300 left, and I don't really care about my kicker and defense. I'm not worried about that. Actually, I'm not sure what those costs are going to be. Higher than I want them to be. Jeez. I guess I wasn't expecting them to be over $2,000 a piece. That's fine. But Boswell against Pitt down there. I don't know that I hate any of these options.
Yeah, I'm looking like I like the Baker pick. Baker or Jaden in that game. They're both going to have big games.
Yeah.
And I don't hate the idea of having like where is – see, McLaurin is pretty cheap compared to some of those top guys.
Yeah.
So maybe you get the dueling receivers with Evans and McLaurin in that game. That's going to be a high-scoring game.
I hope so. I would think it's going to be. There's some other guys down here I don't hate, like a Jalen McMillan. Boy, and if you're looking for something to be – if you're looking for a big boom and you want to just give Marvin Mims a shot. But I think what I want to do is I kind of want to jump over to my kicker. And what do you think about just grabbing the cheapest one in Zane Gonzalez? Washington should score a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason to spend up on a kicker at all.
Yeah, and then defense-wise, I'm not loving most of these. Maybe Minnesota against the Rams, honestly. Just kind of spend right in the middle. Let's see what that does for me. So that's leaving me 11,200 for players. That's what it's doing here. So, okay, guys, if you're just joining us, we're setting a lineup in Smash Up Fantasy Sports. We're having a DFS playoff challenge. It'll be 3 weeks in the playoffs that you get to play, setting a different lineup each week. And it's absolutely free to join, and you could win up to $1,600 in prizes plus a championship ring. So we're giving away over $2,500 worth of prizes in that championship ring. And again, this Smash Up Fantasy Sports makes it fun because they've got these special power-up cards. So we're setting a DFS lineup, and then we're going to pick some cards to go along with it, different power-ups that also we have a budget for. Woo, it's going to be crazy. I've never done this before, so this is a first. Okay, I've got just over $11,000 to play with.
Which defense did you grab?
I grabbed a Minnesota defense. It's kind of in the middle here against the Rams. I just don't know that I love anybody who's playing against Baltimore, Buffalo, Philly, even Minnesota. I'm not loving any of those other ones. That's kind of on my way up. The first one I ran into that Brent says he likes the Chargers D. Don't disagree. It's $400 more. AJ says, "Oh, don't tell them now, Corey. They have to follow instructions." AJ can't. Kyle, I see you. That's funny. Yeah, the Chargers D I don't hate. I agree with that. There's some of these higher ones that I don't hate. But I'm trying to save some moolah here. I'm going to go back to wide receiver and see what I'm playing with. I've got 11,000. I don't hate Shakir. I don't hate some of these guys down here. Don't want Cooper Kupp. Okay, let's just see. If I go Terry McLaurin, because I agree, I like Terry McLaurin, 6,500. That leaves me 4,700 for a flex. Let me kind of go down here. I mean, I can flex Mark Andrews. Probably not the worst, especially if I use a tight end like booster card to boost tight end. Because I don't remember what the tight end cards, but there were some in there, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't remember if there's any tight end specific ones.
Oh, your tight end gets 2 times multiplier to their score. That says, but that's just for the tight end position. So if you play him in flex, it doesn't count. Okay, all non-QB players in your lineup on the same NFL team as your quarterback get a 1.25 multiplier to their score. Oh, so I would get a 1.25 multiplier to their score for like Mike Evans even on that. That also makes Bucky Irving really appealing. If I do a Bucky, Baker, and Mike Evans, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. There's so many options in here. They said QJ cheap. Brent Bradford, everything's so expensive. Reduce defense, 400 and pick up. I don't know, man. I'm kind of liking. I don't hate the thought of getting like a Mark Andrews. This is tough.
All right, so I just filled out a roster with exactly 0 budget left.
Okay.
Baker, Brian Robinson, James Cook, Mike Evans, Puka, Tucker Kraft, Terry McLaurin, and then Zane Gonzalez, Houston defense.
Who was your QB? Baker?
Baker.
Nice. Kind of want. Let me see. 3,500. Oh, how greedy can I get? Who was your defense? What did you say is your defense?
Houston. It was the highest one I could afford after I set the rest of the.
Dude, AJ, I am out of the bottle era. Thank God. I hated washing bottles constantly. My God. Yeah, defense and kickers. Why though? To make it difficult. Also, especially in the playoffs here, you're not playing with a full league, so you got to have something to differentiate and make it tougher. I am curious on the cards though. Going over here into kickers, just kind of your kicker gets 2.5 multipliers for the score. Kicker gets 3 times multiplier for their score. Interesting. All players playing at home get 1. Oh, that's wild. That's wild. So you can get automatically. Oh my gosh. All missed field goals, the double doink, all missed field goals and extra points are now worth 10 points instead of negative points.
Shoot.
It's like playing Canadian football. You miss and you still
I
get
know, right? That's so funny. What's up, Albert? How you doing, man?
Wild. We got Albert. Yep. Let's see. There he is. Woo, found it. Yeah, Albert, sign up for the free tournament, dude. The link is in the description of the video here. Go sign up. And we are there you go. There's that. AJ, the link is in the description. I know what you're doing. I was almost mad, and then I was like, nope. People need to know. You're right. It's in the description. So it is along the bottom ticker there. It says link in the video description. So find it.
He's not your typical, I'm not paying attention and didn't see it. He's trying to help.
All right. I'm going cheap on that. Yep. Okay. I'm just going to go to my flex. What's available for 3,500? I'm just going to scroll down here and see. Oh, great. Hello, Deontay Johnson. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's slim pickings down there, huh? Isaiah Likely. There you go.
Yeah, there's not a lot. Sterling Shepard
even he's on IR, right?
Yeah, this show's questionable. Either way, I wouldn't pick him.
Maybe. Whew, okay. So it gets
not a lot going on down there, though.
But what's right above it? Let me see. Right above that line. Ooh, it takes a little while to get to anything worthwhile there, too.
Yeah, it really does.
Yep. So I got to be a little less greedy on my lineup. Fine. Sheesh. Way less greedy. Way less greedy.
I would say at a bare minimum.
Oh my gosh.
You're going to need, if you want to put a tight end as a flex, you're going to need at least $4,200 for your flex. If you want to start playing real, like, running backs, receivers, and flex.
What did you see for 42? Oh, like TJ Hawkinson. Where was Cade? Cade Otton was down here. Yeah, 41.
Zach Ertz is 43.
Yeah, so if you're wanting to do that, you're right. That's what I'm going to need to get if I want to even put a tight end in there. What are the cards for your flex? Let's see. I'm sure there are special ones. Yeah. Well, I think that's just all of them. Whew, there's so many options here with the player cards. Again, it's just kind of throwing a wrinkle in there. Go back to my wide receivers. What are the defensive cards?
Oh, here's the one I was looking at. I was looking for earlier when I was talking about Puka, the catching fire. For the selected player, each reception counts as 3 points. You think about someone like a Puka who's going to get 10 catches a game. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one. If your defense allows 35 or more points, this card is worth 30 points. Okay. How do I get a lesser defense? Oh, close that. What does that do? I don't want that. Okay. Let me see what defense. Where can I save money on defense then? I can reduce that by 600 and then just spend 3,000. Do we think Baltimore will?
Which card were you looking
at? So the card is called Burnt Ends. If your defense allows 35 or more points, this card is worth 30 points. Who do we think is going to give up 35 points this week?
Green Bay. The Rams.
Yeah, against Minnesota. Very possible.
Maybe Pitt. I don't think Denver will.
I don't think so either. Tampa Bay fucking might, though. but they're expensive somehow.
Yeah, I was looking at the cheap ones. Yeah,
They're probably one of the most willing to give up points out of this whole list. Okay, so maybe that's not a strategy then.
no, but if you buy Pitt defense and they suck, there's this Hall of Fame defense. Your defense gets a 3-time multiplier to their score. So
How much
maybe
is
that I don't know, that's a $7,000 card. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
That's really expensive.
Yeah. But this could make your defense really worthwhile with these cards, right? So when they're like, oh, kicker and defense, like why, right? And it's like, well, it could be. That's interesting. Yeah. Let's see. AJ says I wouldn't go with Saquon this week, guys. I'm going with Saquon every chance I freaking can.
Yeah, I didn't put him in my lineup. I put my money in the receivers.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We
But
talked about.
I still had B-Rob and James Cook, so it's not like my running backs are suffering.
Well, and I was thinking about doing Bucky and James Cook instead of Saquon too, because Saquon's so expensive. I mean, he's just eating up my my budget there.
Some of these cards, I mean, they're expensive, but some of them are kind of nutty. Tunnel Vision of Love. Each receiving target is worth 3 points. You don't even have to catch it.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
But it's $7,500. So
yeah, you got to move. That's a lot. Okay, so I'm going for my flex now. I've cleared up. I've got 5,900 at the moment. Oh, that's because my defense. I'm with Pitt right now. I'm gonna switch that back to Minnesota. Who did you pick as your defense on yours that you did real quick?
Houston.
Yep. All right. I'm up to 5,300. Let's see what kind of that gets me to like Shakir and McMillan or Jalen Warren, which I don't hate. Marvin Mims Jr. could be a big hitter. He's scored what, like 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games?
Yeah.
That's nuts. Surely he can't keep that up though, right?
No, God, no.
I don't love Najee Harris. In fact, he's cheaper than Jalen Warren. That's how much people are into Quentin Johnson, it sounded like. So
it's pretty funny.
I don't know that I love Quentin Johnson, though. So I'm probably not going to do that. AJ says Eagles are going to force Jalen Hurts things. Trust me, guys. Yeah. Here's Brent McMillan. I kind of agree. I like McMillan here, but I've already got Mike Evans. So
maybe it doesn't matter.
Is that something I want to ride with?
Hit that ride or die card and let him throw it all over the yard. Dude, Evans and McMillan have been doing it together the last several weeks.
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking is I can do McMillan here. And then what was that ride or die one you were saying? Is that
that's the one where it's like all the
everyone
people on your team, you get a multiplier?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. All non-QB players in your lineup on the same team get 1.25 multiplier to their score. So I may just do that. Can I do that? Do that? Oh, this card has been played. Okay. So my card budget's down to...
I mean, that's a nice play. Do the ride or die. Grab Baker, Evans, McMillan, Bucky. Hell, you'd save a little money even. Grab Otten. Otten hasn't been playing well, though, so I probably wouldn't do that.
Hell, just do their defense, too. Just play out the whole thing.
Yeah, just all Bucks.
That would be crazy.
Grab McLaughlin. McLaughlin's not that expensive. I mean, he's only...
Yeah. Well, I have $100 left.
So who's in your...
Right now, I've got a $2,300. I've got Zane Gonzalez there.
Let's scroll up. Let's see your lineup there.
So I can get Boswell.
So we have Baker, Cook, Bucky. Okay. Evans, McLaurin, Andrews. McMillan's ain't, yeah. See, if it's me, I'm probably saving money and passing on Andrews.
Oh, that's exactly where I'm at. You see there, I'm thinking about going Kate Otten, dang it, and just get just ride or die.
I mean, you can say, what does that say? 4,300 for Ertz, like
yeah,
getting $400 right there.
Now I do like this. Let's see. If Otten misses again, Durham is good play and stupid cheap. No, I agree. Durham has been very good when Otten's out. AJ says it's about 4 degrees here north of Philly. Dang, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't hate Tucker Craft if I'm saving money there, but I do like Durham if Otten is out. So that's a tough call. That could be a last-second thing there. Do we know how Otten's looking for the game at all, Kyle?
No, I don't.
I'm going to look up real quick and see how that's going. It's crazy how much time it takes to set one of these lineups strategically, you know?
Oh, yeah, dude. I didn't play DFS this year. I did last year, and I spent so much time every week just tinkering with it, switching players out constantly.
Man, I tell you, it just takes a lot of time. Oh, geez. Come on. Well, that's really strange. There we go. Wouldn't bring it up. Oh, let's see. Progressing from knee injury. Yeah. He's a limited participant in their first official injury report of the week. I'm not sure. I'm trusting that situation, but I do love Durham. Yeah, that's a toughie. All right. I don't hate Ertz or Goddard. No, I think I like Ertz, honestly. Okay. Now I've got 500 in my budget. Where was I looking to upgrade? I feel like I was looking to upgrade somewhere. And I can't remember what that was. Do you remember? My defense, was I looking to...
I don't remember.
Or no, it was my kicker. I was looking for my kicker. I was trying to get to McLaughlin, I think is what I was trying to do. So that I could get those double points on the ride and die. That's what it was. So I've got $200 in my budget. I don't know that that really helps me anywhere, but because I like James Cook and Bucky Irving, I can't upgrade there for 200 to Kyron or anything. So I think I'm just going to stick it out with $200 left over.
Let's see. I'm testing a theory out over here on mine.
Oh, yeah? What's your theory?
Well, stand by. Let me see how this works.
All right. I'm going to look at these cards and see what's available. Let me go to my running back cards. I liked that one, that Run CMC. Player has 80 rushing yards and at least 40 receiving yards. I kind of like that for James Cook and Bucky Irving. Yeah, does Ride or Die work for the kicker? I think so.
I was kind of wondering that same thing.
Well, it says all non-QB players in your lineup on the same NFL team as your QB. So
Yeah,
to me, that covers it. To me, that covers it.
I'm trying to find me a flex that I can afford.
end zone is lava is interesting. For the selected player, the points from rushing and receiving yards get a 2 times multiplier, and the points from rushing and receiving TDs get a 0.5 multiplier. Oh, so that if they don't score, maybe that would be bad. Okay.
How do we feel about Hawkinson as a flex and then buying a card that boosts tight ends?
Well, that's the thing, though. I was looking at the tight end cards, and a lot of them say like your tight end gets. So I'm thinking that kind of is just for the tight end position in your lineup, not your flex position. So I think it's more for the position in your lineup, not the position of the player. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Do I like Ertz or Freiermuth better? That's the question.
I like Ertz in this one. I'm trying to find a flex. So I switched it up instead of doing the Tampa Bay kind of lineup you did. That I had. I switched it up and I did a Washington one. So I got JD, Robinson, McLaurin, Ertz, Gonzalez. And then I got Barkley. Still got Mike Evans, so I could switch that up and buy some more money for.
Yeah.
But I did the Minnesota defense. Maybe I get rid of Evans. Save some there.
Brent's saying, does it work for defense, the ride or die? I would assume so, but I only have $200 worth of budget, and so that won't get me to the Tampa. I'll come up 100 short on the Tampa defense, but they're probably going to get rocked anyways. I don't know that I love that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tyler says there are some positional group ups like hellacious halfbacks or one for wide receiver and tight ends. Yeah, that covers like your whole wide receiver group, I think is what he's saying. So it covers 2 players.
So I can now afford Zacchaeus on my flex spot.
There you go.
Do McLaurin, Zacchaeus, and Ertz with Daniels. Just super stack it.
Yeah.
Actually, since I changed Evans to Puka, bought me a few $100. I can now add Mark Andrews as a flex. Or Wicks, which I don't like against Philly.
Yeah, see, like some of these, well, what's that hellacious halfbacks? Let's go back over here. Hellacious. Yeah, halfbacks. Your QB gets 0.25 to their score while the running backs. Ooh.
Having Barkley is expensive.
So if I'm doing this right, if your QB gets a 0.25 times multiplier, that means you're cutting your QB score into a quarter, right? And then your running backs get 1.75 multiplier. So, am I reading that right?
175% of their score. So yeah.
And the QB gets a quarter of his score. So that's really cutting that down. But yeah, I kind of like the thought of these that cover like multiple players. You know, like the ride or die covered multiple players. I'm kind of looking at some of these like, because like some of these are say for the selected player. Well, I'm kind of wanting one that'll cover maybe 2 players. You know, your wide receiver gets 1.5 multiplier to their score. Is 3,000. There was one down here. Your wide receiver gets 2.5 multiplier to their score. And then tunnel vision of love. Each receiving target is worth 3 points. Is that for your entire team? Oh, no, you have to pick a player. Okay. I was like, dang. Okay, so it looks like on all these, you have to select a player. Unless it says all wide receiver tight end get. This is tricky, man.
All right, so I changed Puka to Lad, and then I was able to add Jalen McMillan as my flex.
Nice.
I think that's a sneaky flex. Maybe not so sneaky anymore. But that's a very good value flex, I feel like.
McMillan, that's who I've got in there too.
Yeah. So I got Jaden Daniels, Barkley, Brian Robinson, Ladd, McLaurin, Ertz, McMillan, Gonzalez, Minnesota D, and I got $300 left over.
Tyler's got a good point. So on that one where you would get a quarter of your quarterback points, right? You get a big bonus on those other positions. But if you have a big bonus, then you put on your QB, it like cancels that out. So what would be a good one to do that? Like your quarterback gets, well, like starting QB, your quarterback gets that. Even if they get a 2 times multiplier on their score, man, even that would cost 7,000, right?
Cards, man, these cards
And
are expensive. But
so that would be crazy because my guess is if you do a 2 times multiplier on their score, right? It'll probably take it and cut it by a quarter first. And then it'll double that. So you're still only getting 50% of their score. Well, either way, it doesn't matter. The maths either way. So you're still, even if you spend 7,000 to do, your quarterback gets 2 times multiplier on their score, then you're still only getting 50% of their score. That's crazy. Am I crazy, Tyler? Yeah, ride or die. We definitely got the ride or die going in this lineup. That's why we have Baker, and then we've got Bucky, Jalen McMillan, Chase McLaughlin. So we got the ride or die. Mike Evans, yeah, I'm loving that. So we got we got a lot of Tampa players in here.
I've got my lineup. I got mine with the Washington players. I have ride or die. I got ride or die, and I got $8,500 left to spend on cards. And there's so many cards to go through and read.
Yeah, the cards take a long time to read and then kind of strategize. Bean King, thanks for signing up, man. Yeah, this is really cool. I love the dynamic here. And the cool thing about this is even if someone has the exact same lineup, they can have such a different outcome because of these power-up cards. Like these cards change everything. And I like it. But it's putting a lot of pressure on me. I've never read through these or anything. I'm doing this in real time with people watching, and it's making me nervous because I'm like trying to figure out. Yeah, that goldfish memory would be great during the season with Jameis Winston. Every turnover by your QB is worth 8 points instead of -2. My gosh.
Yeah. I'll do this Moneyball capologist since I have $300 left. Although it only gets me 0.6 points, but
hey, you said you're doing it with like Jaden Daniels. Yeah, if you got Jaden Daniels, I like this one. Mr. Relevant. If the selected player has at least 250 passing yards and at least 20 rushing yards, this card is worth 30 points. I think Jaden Daniels against Tampa Bay right there is legit.
Yeah, that is nice.
I think I would take that for Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I like that. That leaves me. Wait a minute, what happened? Okay. Already been played. Oh, that's how you do it. Okay.
Dude, this roll of dice, if the selected player plays less than 30 offensive snaps, they get a 3 times multiple to their score. Dude, that's like insurance. That's like if someone gets hurt, it's just insurance at that point.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Ooh.
This is so tough. All right. So far, I've purchased one whole card. That's great. What is the Binking says he likes the Hurricane one. Hurricane season. All running backs in your lineup get 1.5 million score, while the wide receiver trying get the 0.5 multiplier. Woo. I have big things in mind for Mike Evans though, so I have a hard time wanting to use that and hurt my wide receivers and tight ends there. But it is kind of cool. I mean, you could strategically set up and spend really, really big on your running backs, not really spend on your wide receivers, and then use a card like that to offset it. Like, that's pretty smart, honestly, if that's a strategy you wanted to take.
Yeah, I've got 4,500 left in my card budget. There's one for chess piece, which says for selected running back, each reception is 2 points. And then I could do run CMC also with that. It says selected player has 80 rush yards and 40 receiving yards. I got Barkley. Like,
yeah.
I feel like those would be two great ones to play there.
I guess, how do I see which cards I've selected? I don't see a place where there's like the cards that I've selected. See the players up here. Oh, here it is. It's ride or die. Got it.
Ooh,
cool. They've got these nice little cards that pop up.
Unstoppable freight train. If the selected player has a run of 30 yards or more, this card's worth 30 points.
Nice. All right. I'm going to buy this extra credit for Chase McLaughlin. He was going to get all extra points by your kicker worth 3 points instead of 1. I'm going to bank on the Bucks getting that. And so I'm going to let him get 3 points for all his extra points. And then also the ride or die. So then it'll have a 1.25 multiplier to their score as well. So I'm gonna start banking on some kicker points there for $1,000. Or yeah, not bad. Oh man. Let's see if the selected player, so a not so wide receiver is if the selected player does not score receiving touchdown, they get a 2 times multiplier on points from their receiving yards. However, if they do score receiving touchdown, this card does nothing. I could see doing something like that for like Jalen McMillan. Maybe he doesn't score a touchdown, but gets some receiving yards thrown in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or even James Cook or Bucky Irving, if they don't get a receiving touchdown, but I don't know that I would bank on either of that happening. Okay, let me see. Are there any that do like the whole group of wide receivers? That Hurricane one, definitely, but I do not want to do that. How much do I got left? 7,500? This is hard, guys. Anyone seeing any? Yeah, Saquon. Okay, so let's see. Tyler says Saquon and then the bruising bell cow. Let's see. Which one is that?
Bruising bell cow. I was just reading that one. It looks
He's rushing it by, oh my gosh. Just for a rushing attempt? Jeez. The 2-minute drill.
I don't have enough budget for that.
Let's see. 2 minutes. All wide receiver tight end in your lineup get 1.7. Well, all running backs in your lineup. Okay, so that's the opposite of the Hurricane one, Brent. Hurricane one does the opposite of that, to where your running back gets the 1.75 and the wide receiver tight ends. So that's interesting. AJ, I tell you.
I like the starting RB one for.
Your running back gets, yeah. You could do that for both of your running backs, honestly.
Well, I don't have enough budget to do it for both. I'd do it for Barkley. I mean, 1.5 times multiplier for Barkley is pretty nice.
Home field advantage. I can afford that one too. All players playing at home get 1.25 multiplier to their score. Or let me see who else playing at home. I can't even remember, but I'm gonna see what teams are playing at home this weekend. So I've got the Bucks playing at home. The problem is I've got Terry McLaurin and Zach Ertz. Otherwise, well, Minnesota defense too. But for the most part, I could be getting all kinds of multipliers. Maybe I just got to get rid of these Washington players, you know? It shows by their names, does it?
You think Golden Arm is worth having for Jaden Daniels?
Do what?
I'm trying to choose between Golden Arm and extra credit for my last card.
What was the second one? You had Golden Arm and what's the other one?
Extra credit.
Why am I not seeing that?
It's the kicker one.
Oh,
it's
that's
the
why.
extra one.
Oh, I've got that one going too. The extra credit because it's cheap.
Yeah, I have $1,500 left in my card budget. Golden Arm's 15, 8-point passing touchdowns by Jaden Daniels, or 3 points for extra points.
I would do the. Who's your kicker? Sorry.
Zane Gonzalez.
I mean, both of those are probably pretty good.
I think I'm gonna go with Golden Arm. How do you see which cards are active?
So like right here, I saw this ride or die here, but I ended up getting another one, this extra credit, and it doesn't show up here. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where to see the cards I've got as well. But I'm just seeing this ride or die one here. I don't see the extra credit. But I definitely have it.
Oh, if you click the card at the top, it'll pop it up and show you if any cards are on it.
Oh, I see. I can see it right there on the card itself.
Mm-hmm.
But the ride or die.
I don't know why that one's showing up there. None of the others are. But...
Okay. I kind of bought him right. Yeah. See, Tyler knows what's up. He's getting it.
So you have to go into the card.
Well,
trash the card that's on that player to unplay the card.
Yeah.
So that's how you change them.
Got it.
Because it's not like the players where you can just go back and take it off and pick another card. Like you have to go in the card, take it off, then go down and select a new one.
Oh, okay. So he says the ones that cover multiple players show up underneath the roster. So if it's covering multiple players,
Okay,
then it'll
that's why.
show up there. If it's covering a single player, then it'll show up there. I mean, honestly, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Oh, that bottom corner on the card. Okay, I see that now. I didn't see that before.
Yeah. Interesting. Man, I wish.
That's pretty cool. I still wish there was a place that would just list them, but
Yeah. I was looking to see if there was anything I wanted to do because, they have those ones that all the players that are playing at home this week get a special multiplier. And so I was like, I wonder.
all I know is I'm putting with this current lineup. I don't know if I'll leave it this way, but the way I have it set up right now, I'm putting a lot of weight on Jade Daniels' shoulders.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Like a lot.
Yes, you are.
It's not like he hasn't earned it, right? Like,
I can't disagree there. How do we feel about the Houston defense against the Chargers?
Him and Barkley have all my cards.
How do you feel? How do you like the Houston defense against the Chargers?
Yeah, I don't hate it. It was between them and Minnesota for me. I went with Minnesota, but
yeah, I'm gonna switch that out just to get. I feel like 300 is where I keep falling kind of short here. Like, do I want Terry McLaurin or Lad McConkey? That's a toughie.
I got both. So
yeah,
but you needed the Bucks players. So I don't know. They're both a great play.
I'm wondering if I can also save on tight end. The Cade Otton Durham one has really got me like where I would love to have Durham for much cheaper.
Yeah,
Otton's going to be out. It's 400 difference. What do you think about Goddard this week?
I'm not a fan of Goddard.
Yeah.
And not just because he's Goddard, but I mean he's
an eagle. He's an eagle.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he did okay this last week, 9.5 points, but it's just not a lot of volume there.
I hear you. I'm playing with this too much, Kyle.
If I was going to take a shot on a cheaper one, it'd probably be like Tucker Kraft.
Okay, I'm going to go back to my cards. This home field advantage has got me. I'm really wondering how I like really, really bank on all of these Bucks players. So if I can give them all these different multipliers on this wide range of players, then I think I'm going to do it.
Yes, Tyler, I did just realize that actually a couple of minutes ago.
What did you realize?
He said, I bet they don't even realize they've been working this lineup for an hour.
No, we definitely, yeah, I know. It's so easy. Yeah, go to bed. So, yeah, right. Tight end upgrade for someone playing at home. Yeah, I know. I've got like the tight ends here. Zach Ertz, and I'm 400 away from like getting Mark Andrews, which is what I would love. So I've got to find a way now to save 100 somewhere else, and that might end up just coming on my defense, honestly. But the problem is my next best one is no, and the Rams are the same. So all of my defenses will be playing away. So I'm not loving that. So that's really tough. All right, AJ, you go to the bar, man. Love it. Now, in defense, Tyler, once I learn some of these cards, I won't be spending so much time on this. Like next week, heck, even if I did this again yesterday, where's the link, new listener? Yeah, find it in the description of this video. As it says in the ticker at the bottom of the screen there, it says link in the video description there. So, yeah, I might just punt big time on my defense. But which defense do I want to take that chance on? Holy crap. I mean, I want the home one, but it's the same.
Honestly, I think maybe Pitt would be your best option. Those games tend to be close, even though Baltimore's playing great. I don't know. That's a tough call.
Yeah, but I feel like
maybe the Rams is your best bet.
Honestly, Green Bay, since Philly is trash. In case AJ's still here.
That's fair. That's fair.
Denver at Buffalo. Don't love it, but I feel like it could be the safest. I might go with Pitt just because I think they can get a couple sacks, maybe.
Tyler makes a good point. If you're using the home field advantage one, just change McLaurin, or just make everybody on your team a home team player.
Well, that's why I'm trying to upgrade my tight end here to Mark Andrews to make it a home team. So that's why I'm trying to get Mark Andrews in my tight end spot. That's what I was aiming for to save on my defense for.
But you might have to change out McLaurin to make that room.
Yeah. McLaurin is 6,500. So anyone that I want that might be worthwhile down below, man, it's going to be a huge downgrade. Huge downgrade.
Devontae Smith's probably going to be your next closest.
Yeah, at 5,700. I don't hate it.
But what are you at right now? You're still short?
I've got 400. Why is that? Did I mess something up?
Oh, you have Mark Andrews in there, and you downgraded your defense. Okay.
Well, I thought I had to downgrade my defense to get that. So if I've got that, then that's true. Oh, my defense downgrade was significant, I guess. So I still got 400. And so
you could upgrade somebody, maybe McMillan. Yeah. Well, no, not McMillan because you got the Baker.
I hate that he's not at home, but I could upgrade to Ladd McConkey. But Terry McLaurin, I like maybe just as much or more. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. The home away thing makes that really tough. I may just have to sacrifice on Terry McLaurin. And then there's no card for 100 for him, I guess. That.
Okay, so if I change my Minnesota defense to Pitt and just punt defense, I can change Ladd to Puka.
Actually don't hate that.
And also, or I could change Jalen McMillan to Devontae Smith in my flex, or Addison.
See, Tyler, but who am I swapping McLaurin for, right? Like, that's the problem. That's my problem. Is swapping McLaurin sounds great, but Devonta Smith would be my best bet there. Then I'm getting a bunch of budget for what? So, if I downgrade McLaurin to, Devonta Smith, now I've got 1,200. Then let's say instead of James Cook. I still can't get like a Derrick Henry or Saquon or anything, so I might just stick. I mean, I guess I could go Kyron. Do we like Kyron or James Cook better? Probably Kyron, right? Yeah.
No, I'd go with Cook.
No, I was thinking the same, especially it depends on what the weather's going to be like up there. Now I've got that player budget. So 0.2 points to your score. I would get that times 12. So I would add 2.4 points to my score. I could do that like right now. That's not a lot. I feel like $100 remaining of player salary adds 0.2 points to your score for a maximum of 10 points. That's not a big bonus, I feel like.
No.
Because I feel like every $100 remaining player salary is worth more than that. Just saying. But now I can go for a better defense, maybe. Since I went from McLaurin to going to Devonta Smith. Let's see. AJ, what do you think of Devonta Smith this week? Oh, a selected player's team wins the game. That's tough, though. I could have done that for McLaurin to make up for. Devonta Smith stinks. He stinks, huh? Well, thanks for the boost of confidence there, AJ. Jeez, Pete.
See, so I tanked my defense down to Pitt, and I was able to swap Ladd up for Puka.
That's pretty nice. I like that.
But I don't have any card money left over to use for like extra points for him. I spent it all on Jaden and Saquon.
Yeah, it's hard not to want Saquon there. That's for dang sure. Like I said, if I
got rid of the golden arm one, no, I still wouldn't have enough for.
Let me see. Going back to tight end here. If I went back to. Ugh. Wish I knew about Durham. Ugh. Oh, let's see. What about swapping Smith for Puka and lowering tight end and defense a bit? Yeah, the problem is I'm having a hard time finding guys to lower down to that are at home because I'm trying to find those home team players. That's why if Otten would just sit out and Durham could play, all of my problems could be fixed. Is what I'm looking at right now. Oh, you think he's cooked because he's coming off of concussion protocol, huh? He just got knocked silly. Doesn't know how to play anymore. I think I'm running. I'm gonna ride with Devonta Smith there and being at home. I've got $1,000 left in my card budget. And maybe I give him a boost. Seabird's confidence is pretty good. That is better than Moneyball Capologist, right? Tyler. It's funny. Oh, that. How much am I spending on this pay plus kicker? 1,000. So if I wanted 2,200 to boost. What's I gonna do? I was gonna boost something. Is it running back? Okay. I might just do this. I'm going to give a little boost to. Oh, that's only worth. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to give a little boost here to Devonta Smith. Oh, you can only play it once. You can't do it for multiple, huh? That's too bad. That's too bad. All right. I'm just doing that. No, you're good, Tyler. You are good. Yeah, up till 4 a.m. Oh, man. Let's see. All right. I'm almost done. I've got $1,200 worth of player budget, but I just used the Moneyball Capologist. It's either that or I can really upgrade my defense. Which isn't a bad idea. Oh. Saxon City. 3,000. The defensive cards are really expensive. Holy cow.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, most of the cheap cards are not great.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that makes sense, right? They get better the more money you spend, just like the players.
Yep.
I was trying to figure out a way I could get some sort of booster on Puka, but I don't think I can.
Yeah.
Because, like, Ride or Die, Mr. Relevant, and the starting RP, like, I have to have those. And so that only leave me 1,500 left for Puka, and there's nothing I can use that for. So, Golden Arm it is.
All right. Do I prefer to get my use my Moneyball Capologist, or do I prefer to upgrade my defense from Pittsburgh to somebody else, a home team of some sort here?
Let me see your lineup again. Where are we at on?
I've got
Andrews, Devontae, Mike, McMillan. I mean, you could put it back on Pitt and just upgrade Devontae again if you wanted to, right?
Yeah, but the problem is I've got the home team getting that bonus, so I'm going for home teams. And like Terry McLaurin isn't away, so he would get hurt on that. So Devontae is there. And
about Zay.
Hold on. Let me select this wide receiver. If I get away from Devontae, the highest I can go is Ladd McConkey, and he's still away. And I've got to get 700 more AJ Brown.
No. So the away team gets, what is it, a 0.75?
Yeah, it's a 0.75 multiplier. So they lose a quarter of their points. Hey, Cynthia, what's up? How's it going? How's it going? Just followed you though. Appreciate it, Cynthia. Yeah, the link is in the description, AJ. Thank you. Thank you. Link is in the description if you want to join the league. Yeah, it's you and me here. I love that. That's funny. So home field advantage. That's why I was trying to find a home team there.
Tough.
Yeah. I could really I could downgrade my tight end significantly. It'd be a significant downgrade though. And that's how I could gain quite a bit of money left. But I don't feel comfortable with Kincaid.
So, throw Devontae back in there. And then you don't want to do that because of the home. Never mind. Ride or die. I was like, you could go from Bucky to Henry, but you got that ride or die.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if I get rid of James Cook, the highest I can go, I mean, I could go like a Kyron Williams if we like him over James Cook, you know?
Not against Minnesota, I don't.
That's what I'm thinking there. I like James Cook better. So I kind of got $1,200 just sitting out there. Again, I went with this Moneyball capologist. So I'll end up getting
What if instead of James Cook, you went with Brian Robinson? Then what could you put in there for Devonta Smith?
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Downgrade my running back instead of taking James Cook. That's not a bad idea. Okay. Now go over wide receiver. Get rid of Devonta Smith. See, that gets me all the way up to Puka.
Do it. That's
what I think you got to do that. Good point. Why didn't I think about? Oh, except that Brian Robinson is an away team.
Oh, he is, isn't he? I forgot.
Damn. Yeah. But that's fine. We'll go back and look at that. Cynthia, yeah, the experience of this game is fantastic. This is fun. I'm excited for this.
Well, I mean, you're looking at an easy.
Oh, Tyler caught that too.
Easy team to run on. Why not just go Bucky and Rashad White? Then you could put JJ in that receiver spot.
I did kind of think about it. I'm not gonna lie.
I forgot about the home team thing with Brian. Yeah. That's too bad because getting Puka in there is nice.
Mm-hmm.
That might overcome that 0.25 you lose plus some over Devontae.
I mean, kinda. It could. It really could. If I could find a... Well, let me see. I'll get rid of my Moneyball capologist. Maybe I'll get rid of my extra credit. And then
how much is that? 2,000? If you could get 3,000 in cards, they got that starting RB gives you 1.5 multiplier.
I know. That's what I'm like. That's tough, though.
Yeah.
Each reception
for 2,000, yeah, the chess piece one. That's what I was about to say too. Each reception counts as 2 points. How many receptions does B-Rob get a game?
I mean, with Eckler back, because Eckler's back.
Yeah, he only had 1 reception last week. Get the human vulture and go pick a running back that only scores touchdowns.
That's what I was saying. Like, get your goal line back. Who's not going to rack up a lot. Go pick up Gus Edwards or something stupid. Yeah, if I could get this starting running back at 1.5 multiplier, but the problem is I would have to get rid of ride or die or home field advantage. Are those the only 2 cards I've got going? I'm not seeing cards on anyone else's. But that means that's 10,000. Ride or die, 3,500. I don't know where my card budget's at. because I don't see a card on any players here.
What's the name of the home field one?
Hold on one sec for me. I'm going to. Oh, that's why. I see what happened. Never mind. Okay, what'd you say, Kyle?
What was the name of the card for the home team?
The home field advantage.
Is it pretty far down?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's where your budget went. 6,500 for that, and then 35 for the other. That's 10 grand. So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
I'm not sure a 1.25 multiplier is enough. I would spend 6,500 on it.
I know.
That's
I was just
deep.
Here's my thing though, is I'm looking at multiple multipliers for all those bucks, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right, Tyler, have a good one, man. So, what do we do besides streaming? I mean, like study or just work? I mean, we got full-time jobs. So
Yeah, we have regular jobs.
So day jobs, at night we do fantasy football. So that's pretty much what we do. Yeah, exactly. Tyler said once your whole roster 1.25 can add up really quick too. But like I said, on those Bucks players, I'm getting a 1.25 for all being on the Bucks, plus I'm getting a 1.25 for just being on their home field, which is pretty big. And it's across the whole dang roster.
I'm wondering, like on this one unstoppable freight train, if the selected player has a run of 30 yards or more, this card's worth 30 points. What if he has two runs worth 30 yards or more? Does he get 30 points each time, or just the once?
No, I bet just the once. That would be crazy.
It would be crazy. Because I'd put that on Barkley immediately. I mean, maybe I should anyways, but it's kind of expensive.
Well, I've got to find where to spend $2,000 more on a card budget, Kyle. And then my team's wrapped up, I think.
Why not Golden Arm?
Oh, what do I got over here? Oh, yeah. Let me see. Every passing touchdown. Yeah, that's actually not bad. I wasn't even thinking about going over. I was on that flex. I didn't think about it.
Also, not so wide receiver.
Yeah, I was looking at that one.
Throw it on McMillan. You know,
that's what I said earlier. Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier on McMillan. I was trying to think of a way. I wanted to upgrade Brian Robinson Jr. in some way because I'm going to be hurting him with not being. He's not going to get his full score. But there's just no good one for him because he's not going to get a bunch of receptions, I feel like. So I don't love that. So yeah, I mean, the Golden Arm, not a horrible choice. And especially if he's going to get a home field advantage multiplication plus a rider. Well, the rider die won't, but he'll get the home field advantage one. So then I can add.
He's throwing 4 touchdowns a game too, so that's
against better defenses than probably. So if he's throwing for those, because he's not really rushing for any, but if he's throwing for some, I can get those out there, and then I'll get another 1.25 for his home field advantage. So that could multiply quite a bit. So yeah, I'll throw out the golden arm there, and then
Put that money bowling back on there. Spend the last.
well, I can do a Seabird's confidence. So if we pick one team that we're really confident could win, like Mark Andrews, I can get an extra 3 points. Or what were you saying?
I was saying the money ball one, but you don't have that much anymore.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't be but worth 0.4 points. So I'm going to do a Seabird's confidence, and I think I'm going to do that on Mark Andrews. So I'm kind of betting on the Ravens to win.
Yeah.
And I think I'm locking it in. I spent it. I have $2 worth of player budget left, and I don't even care. There's nowhere else you can spend it.
I have $100 with a player budget and zero budget, but I'm happy actually.
I punted my defense. That's the tough thing, is I punted defense.
Yeah, but I mean, Pitt defense, it's possible playing a division rival like that it still could be a close game. I mean, you don't know.
I'm banking on some sacks is what I'm doing.
Like, I know the first time they play, I don't remember what happened the second time they played each other, but I do know the first time they played each other it was really close and it was all field goals.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Well, let me go look really quick at Steelers defense. I'm just going to kind of see how they did against Baltimore. 10.65 and then 3.04. So yeah, first time was not bad.
Second time they got whooped.
Second time was ugly. But they got a couple sacks, couple fumbles, interception. They did pretty good that first time. So I'm just going to bank on maybe they'll get a couple sacks or something there. But I would rather punt that position and be strong at the others.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to go for. Oh, my gosh. That only took an hour and a half to set up. So, woo. Yeah, rough. Yeah, Cynthia, I guess your routine is quite similar to me. Yep. But probably different content. Anyway. Oh, man. All right, so we finally got that. Kyle, let's pull up yours really quick. I'm just going to show mine here. Baker Mayfield, Brian Robinson Jr., Bucky Irvin, Mike Evans, Puka, Mark Andrews, Jalen McMillan, Chase McLaughlin, and Pittsburgh defense. Now, I've got home field advantage, so all the home players get a 1.25. Let me pull this up here. All players playing at home get a 1.25 multiplier to their score, while all players who are playing on the road get a 0.75 multiplier to their score. So the only road player I have on my roster is the Pittsburgh defense. Everyone else is playing at home, so everyone's going to get an automatic multiplier on there for me, which is nice. I'm also going with the ride or die. So this is all non-QB players in your lineup on the same NFL team as your QB gets a 1.25 multiplier to the score, which means Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan, and Chase McLaughlin are all going to get an automatic 1.25 multiplier to their score. I'll take that. Mark Andrews has a Seabird's confidence. Selected player's team wins the game. This card's worth 3 points. So that could be just 3 points given to me. And then Baker Mayfield, last but not least, has golden arm attached to him. Every passing touchdown by your QB is worth 8 points instead of 4. So he'll get that, plus then he'll get the 1.25 for home field advantage. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about this. All right, Kyle, let's show yours instead and kind of walk us through yours instead.
Yeah, so I did the Washington build instead of the Bucks build.
Okay.
Just to kind of show, like, both of those teams are going to go nutty against each other. So I did Daniels, Barkley, Robinson, Puka, Scary Terry, Ertz, Jalen McMillan. We talked about that earlier. He's a super cheap but really high ceiling flex guy this week. Gonzalez in the pit D. I did the same thing you did, just kind of punted the defense, right?
Yep.
Maximize what you can here. I did put starting running back on Barkley. Running back with a 1.5 multiplier.
Yeah.
Everything else I put on Daniel. So I did the ride or die, which you were just talking about. Everybody
Yeah.
on the same team gets 1.25. So that's B-Rob, McLaurin, Ertz, and Gonzalez. I also did the Mr. Relevant. It's like the player has at least 250 passing yards, at least 20 rushing yards. Card's worth 30 points. I like him to get that. And then the Golden Arm passing touchdowns worth 8 points. So I put a lot of weight on Jaden Daniels' shoulders this week.
No kidding. Yeah, that's
which means he'll probably break his leg on the first play of the game.
That's what I was like. Do you need to get
He's gonna
roll of the dice on there? Get roll of the dice on there in case he plays less than 30 offensive snaps. Oh man, that's crazy. Okay, I like it.
I don't remember what roll of the dice one was.
Oh, if they play less than 30 offensive snaps, they get 3 times multiplier to their score.
I could do that one instead of Golden Arm, but I don't know. I'll take the chance. I think he's going to do great things. So he's been playing fantastic. So as long as he stays healthy, he won't have any problem maximizing these cards for me.
Well, it's unfortunate you can't put the roll of the dice on the kicker because you know he's going to score or he's going to play less than 30 snaps. They won't let you do that. That's unfortunate. All right.
Loophole.
I was like, now that we mention
just go pick like an injured tight end and then throw that card on him. And it's just like, oh, okay.
Well, I think something like that, like roll of the dice would be good on someone like Eckler, right? Like, is Eckler going to play 30 snaps? Probably not. Yeah. But he could score some good points. So a 3 times multiplier on someone like that could
think about getting like some touchdown vulture and throwing that and then the vulture one on there.
Oh my gosh.
The human vulture and just like ridiculous. It'd be like a 5-time multiplier.
Let's just really quick. Who is that player, right? Like who are you looking at to be that player when you're going through this list? Is it someone like Gus Edwards?
Najee Harris, maybe?
Yeah, Najee Harris could be that.
Najee's probably the one I would do it with if I was going to do it.
Yeah, I think that's what I would be looking at too.
Well,
Emmanuel Wilson?
Najee will probably get more than 30 snaps, though.
Maybe Emmanuel Wilson?
Maybe.
That's tough. It's hard just being limited to the playoff teams.
In this group of teams, there's not a ton of like true vultures here.
Yeah.
There are some in the league, but there's just not that many here.
Yep. I agree.
But if you did have one of those teams, that would be a neat strategy. Like, oh, he's just a touchdown guy.
Yep. I agree. All right, man. Let's call that a night. That was fun and challenging. Holy cow. That was really challenging. So hopefully we do good. We have different strategies going for sure.
We put all of our money into that Tampa Bay Washington game.
I tell you. Well, I'm curious to see how that Saquon pays off for you too. So
the one.
I'm curious to see how with the power ups and everything through the smash up power up cards. I'm really curious to see how those play off. So this is going to be a fun week. I'll be curious to see how everyone else set their lineups and how they score and stuff. So do you have a projected points? I meant to, so that it should show your player budget, card budget, projected points. What's your projected points on there?
121.9.
Okay. I'm projected 132.6. So
and I may play around with the cards some more and see if I can increase that, but I don't know. I feel pretty good about it.
Oh, okay. So, that's kind of going like Baker got a little bit of a boost because of his stuff. What is it projecting? Jaden Daniels for you?
26.6.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Even with all that on there. And
Yeah.
what is it?
So I may try to move around my cards more off of Jaden, more on Barkley, and some on Puka instead.
You know, I wasn't really paying attention to that throughout. I didn't realize that it was giving you like a kind of a projection on what it'll do to their points based off of those things. So that's very interesting.
So I may have to get rid of like the Mr. Relevant and try to increase Pukas or something. I don't know. We'll might have to play around with it. I feel pretty good about my setup though, even though the projections aren't through the roof.
Right. It's interesting. Because like when I put that extra credit with Chase McLaughlin, like he goes from 9 points to 15 points and stuff like that. It added like an extra 6 points to it and stuff like that. So it's very
Some of these
interesting.
points are projected pretty low. Like McMillan 7.5, that's way too low.
Yeah.
I feel like Puka 11.8. I mean, come on.
Yep.
Maybe it is standard scoring. I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting. So anyways, I'll be curious to see how it turns out. It'll be fun to monitor this week. It makes stuff interesting and fun since fantasy season's over. So now I'm excited for it all over again. But anyways, good luck to everyone as they're setting their lineups this week. And again, click the link in the video description and you can win up to $1,600 in a championship ring. So that's pretty awesome. And it is absolutely free to join. So
they can't win that because I'm going to win that.
That's true. That's true. So you can win.
You can play with me though.
Up to like $600 then, or something like that. If you're coming in second place, I don't know.
There you go. Second place prize, and you have the privilege of playing with FFCK.
That's really where it's at. It's the privilege of getting to play with us. All right, man. Everyone have a good night and good luck this week. Until next time, we'll see you.
Good luck, guys.